and sacrifice to speed the day of the coming beauty of Ghana and Africa. Amen. Honourable members, I extend a warm and hearty welcome to each and every one of you as we commence this extraordinary meeting of the 4th session of the 8th Parliament of the 4th Republic. This meeting is a response to a request for a recall first dated 22nd of October 2024 and the subsequent one dated 24th of October 2024, both pursuant to Article 1123 of the Constitution and Order 53 of the Standing Orders of Parliament. Both requests were signed by more than the constitutionally required signatories of 15% of all members of Parliament. The first request entreats the House to deliberate upon and transact urgent government business. And the businesses were tabulated. And from what we had, there were not many, just a few. The second request, dated 24th, simply added many more items for the consideration of the House. So from the initial request for us to consider 5 items, this second request added 17 more items. And this request came from the MPP members of Parliament, and it was signed on their behalf by the second Deputy Majority Whip, Honourable Alex Tete Jodubois. In fact, both requests were signed by him. Honourable members, I had, under the dictates of the provisions of the Constitution, to issue the summons for you to be here today. And I duly complied with the constitutional provision and got the administration to get the summons published to the notice of all of you. Unfortunately, the signatories who made the request have not shown up, and therefore matters that they wanted us to handle, which are admitted for the consideration of the Business Committee, are not on the order paper, and in fact there's no order paper for today because the Business Committee could not meet due to the absence of the people who requested for the recall. And as you can see, one side of the House is completely empty. In view of this, we have, as usual, got a quorum to sit, but we have no business before us to transact, because the Business Committee, as you know, they prepare a report, and this report is adopted by the House as business agreed by the House to transact during the course of the week. In the absence of that, there is no other authority that can put business before you which you have not adopted to transact. In view of the failure of the Business Committee to sit, as a result of the refusal of those who requested for the recall to show up, we are compelled to once again adjourn the sitting of the House. Knowing the challenges we are facing, it is not advisable to be adjourning from day to day. And so I'll proceed once more.
Amadi share na jo ebionso ene ya wada November ya bosu duba akono da etoso enso sa wo obre no a na wotwe aba pa ho sima enwotwe the punch jumedi na de professor break up him say ebebo nondu we amanyosem jumedi a nsem a efa Ghana amanyosem ho se de ke mamke be memotie no ye transese ya na esi ho abrekutre na wonso akere wadwen enso ho Kofi Appiah and I metem the lawyer Hene Amanka Giant, free sabre cobonundu. You will send Pia Yeka, a boy here, co America memo. Nako said America for aba or moto yeno, a cuckoo ye. A man penada Donald Trump, which I'm feeling 9 in America for 2 no, a sarco, a bebu and rat. Ya wedding Queen Mua Sabre or no soon and feel 9. Dear man anymore, so better or man or no. So, social media saw your dear NDC foreca. And all the MPP4 eka. NDC4 se sankofa yenchi. MPP4 so se osoro elephant no. Asanso aba White House ubio. Ko Republican for ne MPP4 na enso which say omoni swade no mo se bibia ekro. Ebedi won komo kakra bi. Nya the dynamics of American election. America de. Nya to Ghana so de osanso bi o Ghana so. And I say enuom ni twaka bia. Ye trend analysis ni number bia e ka ho asem. If you ever call Parliament, my impression with your film, when my son was see our hall, bear now to me near and they be assess bill. To say, him for and a majority, him for and a minority. The Supreme Court to Eka, and I'll say Jina, and I'll say the Speaker Eka and they say Jina. If I had Ghana Memorial Constitution, the Eka, first Supreme Court to me home. The Eka from Rakshab Jafon, so to me, I'm more trusted the year, Jumaho. The course of Parliament no Supreme Court bet me abem and I say won't me mem. Nina ebedi hon komo. Enne boso me pepe ne ekoto aba. Biche we ekoso mra sebe je fie mo no. E unsusu aso wo ya bato ho. Ene ya to aba na kire enso ene saying. If you be NPP NDC omo policies and programs. E say ya obedi Ghana me so de omo atimi aye. Ende omo ka kire yes ever to me nse wonsa. Na omo saka sa to me no a Omwaye eso de aboa ama omen enso atumi etumpon. What the can the Speaker of Parliament aka say MPP Rashabajafo na stress Parliament sambre bio na si hia bi o medwene ho ene omo baye a say MPP4 ama eno so nti omuntimi nya business of the house emenye yi ometima atranse akasa de na so msi bibia ho po si agina bia enye yi to say to Parliament no asa hyede bio Senate one trade akra on be sign enso aba ehun sunsanso ene saying my enkotie the minority leader is a crowd who the offering minority leader Rockets are to force new DNDC for anymore to be on the safer side my main cancer or say MPP4 omonye Ghana ho yentu obentiom So mo ana me krata akọ ese yemra afi de baya mama inti atofosen.
The committee once again failed to show up at the business committee. I personally called the committee clerk and I was informed that she is out of the jurisdiction and no one has reached out to him to her to program the business of the day. I was worried and reached out also to the MPP side and to have an indication as to what their plan is. No one responded. I am deeply worried and deeply concerned that the very people that requested for Parliament to be recalled failed to show up. Clearly, what we are seeing here is an abuse of the Constitution and the standing orders of Ghana's Parliament. The NPP minority caucus have indeed caused financial loss to the state and to us, the NDC members of Parliament, and to the people of Ghana. We say this because these recalls cost Ghana money. This is not the first time that they have done this. They've done this a couple of times, but we see nothing than disrespect. We call on the people of Ghana to see the behavior of the MPP and punish them accordingly. They have certainly, everything shows that the MPP are tired, they are fed up, and they are not ready to work for the people. They are ready for the people. They are bereft of ideas and they are short of vision. They cannot solve the suffering of the people. All what they do out there during campaigns, in spite of the hardship, is to sing and dance Osisikia. That's all what they do. In times like this, when the ordinary Ghanaian is struggling to survive, they are dancing and singing Osisikia and sharing money. We want Ghanaians to see them as such and vote against them and sack them. Because clearly, you can see, we have over 100 NDC MPs here today out of the 137, and we are determined to do what is right. But
Kessel atofos ne odi NDC masajafo animo and out in Kenya. Na eno eche no, Onyafo Alexander Fedon Mark and also the MPP masajafo animo. Also ne for Kasai. Also say the ekoso masajafo myefa subo nyina ma ora bamba ben speaker. If you say ade no Supreme Court ashe say anamo bi a watuo no gira ho na obi di asema be dan wo mo. Enti say mrasha badwamo no also omutimi hunu say we mu ene majority dada no a ne yekọ obra Supreme Court e dey tabato speaker spare of proceedings ne ye dwuma dia the status quo ante should remain na kayeba ya betra se so mu share speaker no no tie speaker press conference won no declare say we na enter and also nti omo ntimi ama ombeto aso an speaker engagement sebe ya semi weapon of Messibre. Yenti Alexander Afenyumaken.
A so-called business committee meeting that they called. Who are they? When did we constitute a new committee in Parliament? I chair the business committee of Parliament. And when the clerk to Parliament asked for the business committee meeting, I was very explicit that the subject matter of the recall, which was approved by Mr. Speaker, is a very matter for consideration. So there's no need to have another business committee. Business committee is to decide on the business of the House. On this occasion, you have made an application, which application has been granted. And the items that were approved were the very things to be decided on. So I directed that the order paper should be printed to reflect all those items. Fortunately, Mr. Speaker himself read the two letters, the first one and the second one that amended the first, and indicated to the whole country that indeed our deputy majority whip, the second deputy majority whip, had actually sent those letters to him. He acknowledged him as such. Clearly, the NDC is on a warpath. They want confusion in this country. They want lawlessness in this country, and all these are being supervised by Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
It is sad. It is very sad. And I would want to entreat you, the media, to call them out, to call the NDC out, to call Mr. Speaker out. Because what is it? What at all is the issue? You have where by law that forum has the power to interpret the law. We respected Mr. Speaker's ruling in all of these. My first interview after his ruling was to the fact that aware was pending at the Supreme Court. And I will repeat the point I made a week ago. Mr. Speaker had assured me in the presence of the second deputy speaker, Honorable Amwakwesiama, in his office, that in view of the pendency of the suit, although the NDC had filed that petition, which petition was mounted by Harun Idrisu, he would hear them, but will wait and abide the decision of the court. I was fair enough. I was transparent enough to have engaged him as a head of this assembly, that because Haruna had raised the issue and to avoid confusion, I was going to the Supreme Court to seek interpretation.
Now, Finyo Markin, and also Brown and Jofu Shia, MP before so side of the story. And I'll tell you what you say, at the end of no speaker crash, Yama, which I say Supreme Court, the Crata Breno, now Nimra, Ejimra, Edientino, the Supreme Court, the NBA Juma, Nanka, said the theater down Parliament, no, Makotoaso, then so Anqua Cobanesa. Now, I bet you have any idea home and who's on swap, and what the Magana one, Sembra Cabosmepe. Na ye kotoa bay but if I know mudijuma ene enyumre Ra Ishak Che Probe, a strategic communicator at the really new patriotic party, was I a lecturer at Kumasi Technical University, Ajineja. Sarasuna Nuruddin Abbas Esquire, and also a legal practitioner and Ashanti Regional Communication Director, Edema, National Democratic Congress, NDC. Bedi Kofi Appiah Senior Economy, Tremu Ediama Lawyer, Hinaman Giant. A test line is 0551 599 933. 0551 599 933. Wajin should be I will be able to be a bar, Nabre Pemono, Yaji, Yakin Kai, and so at the amount. My Miss in free Uncle Shako, Penny Macaba.
Yeah,
now, yeah, dear.
Yamia do not say.
I am the inquiry.
Good.
America for you, dear.
Yeah,
home bread. Yes, so a cabo summit. And never smell pepe now. Vance old fan of Bosumi Mudia, Bosumi Nimum. Yeah, Cabell and now watching 9. Was a meme in there, baby.
30 days.
Hey, mean there, be let us say, now watching 9 pepe near Cotoba. You can't hear America, dear no. Young mama said about us as on coy.
You, Minia, with us say, in chair when you bring, in chair, Minia Kuma, Nuruddin Abbas, na yen chair, Yasha for, any a for. Minfanchia PCA, His Excellency Al-Hajj Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the innovative Bawumia, the digital Bawumia, the next president of the Republic of Ghana, inshallah. Na also suspending a campaign in Ashanti region. Abra Wababeye, Achumampunia, Achumangwa Biaja, North and South. Offenso North and South and offering say Efija Kwabre North Concrete na the credit scoring system, the individualized credit scoring system no akoko launch no ene die yenintino yegusu ayebu man no gusu ayehye man no yenim say sa initiative na abano eyadea ebe stimulate local demand and spending na stimulate economy no na abwa ama enyuma abo man. Having said that, United States of America and Ghana elections relationship interesting and media me no ya na me place premium kase was so DNT, I mean, place it premium kasi was on the say, you know, elections na ankasa no. Electorates are very sophisticated, very, very, very sophisticated. So, Oshe Fitch predictions was in favor of Kamala Harris. And you ask yourself, say, internationally recognized, reputable institution like that, put up a prediction, and the results doesn't come close compared to even Mrs. Clinton and Trump. Mia nkasa ye kromo Musa Dankwa info analytics there. And the NHS or no dear. Or yanchine krana no I okay, and that's also off target. And then we get prophecies from Ira, Nigel, Gazy, you know, other prophets. Ningina also Ira JM the kind of atia faso. So and you look at it and say overdraw some kind of inferences now, or they are connected to Ghana, you know, directly. I don't normally want to do that kind of comparison. For me, idea here pa any consistency of message. Yedima or friend is saying. The electorates are very, very, very important. Na obia or kwakotwa babia no nadwima in a very clear say metoma ba umia we in the woman mensa ebeka. Metoma obentia we in the woman mensa ebeka. I think that is where we should be looking at. But so Osha Conservative Party, United Kingdom, na Osha the Republican Party, United States of America, na Osha New Patriotic Party, you same or similar ideologies, you know, center-right political, you know, parties and as a persuasions. Intino Ubibeka say, oh, Donald Trump are winning, so MPP is going to win. And especially say Okokoshe say Mr. Clinton and Mr. Jerry John Rawlings there by the same time. Almost second term they won as well. Then another elections, and so na Republican Bush Jr. And so Abba no ne Papa Kofo Abba Bishia no more sign I exited. Then Barack Hussein Obama, right? And also the Professor Mills and a buy and John Mahama etwaso and one more a free scene. And I do Danko Kufuado and Trump and a buy. The only outlier, 20, or friends say 20. Nanado Danko Kufuado winning Donald Trump a Lusuye. I say this to that. Say Donald Trump, one of the things that he suffered, you know, a COVID, the pandemic. Okay. And the fact say na you know, Barack Hussein Obama no much say one more decay ask for the potential pandemic so many years ahead, and one more near to President Trump and yadia wodineni a share sani man. He just kept his eyes off those signals. Nipa di obedi die nipa na pomudin asem nipa suku sem. Yeah, na se wudi dia agro or maybe more and so he has been successful with his comeback. But is it going to translate the same way in Ghana? I have my doubts, because MPP has been very, very clear, very consistent in terms of your policies. Yes, if free senior high school, 2008, 2012, 2016, we got the power, we hit the nail right on the head. after the year, they are also expanding what friend is saying, TVET education, increasing enrollment from around 13,000 to now over 60,000 and still counting. Okay? Yes, I didn't to about STEM education. So, see, we are looking at it at the junior high school level. Very consistency in terms of policy. Now, and then let me read you from another, as I know, journalist saying, say, idea a hunkasi wonu pa ne say the kind of investment a new patriotic party aye no wo enhomasuam e wo man Ghana no say party ni belusu na ohwe say NDC betimi anya the same momentum e the atoaso ana. So we will look at the policies later. And then the healthcare system, what to see a form one, dear, what you say party way, dear, or more bar, or more the she goof, a quam, a money can you understand? So, say, you know, national health insurance, a national health insurance, a refugee BMO, free education, a refugee BMO. So, who's in community? And you know, if you say bottom line, we'll be able to draw inferences, one way or the other. It's you two nipan narrative or whatever. So it goes down to the wire. Said here, Ghanaians ABC decided on December 7. And I have no doubt, say the decision will be in favor of His Excellency Alhaj Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia.
When I say, Roy Shak Chebrobe, Kasama MPP, and I Otin in Kane. Council.
Wofa.
Akwawa.
Mejo so.
Na umpu mi ede.
Oh, Rebecca say nyamia ya dia wa we just say nyamia koya. Obi ezo obi si trodo matoa. Nyama nkoye.
Majo, o mic no.
O de unsa ti me kasa gu.
Amo kasa say.
Se wa hwe say nyama ko no a. Nyama nkoye. To ahodo a ene abanwe de agu ye so Dr. Bawumia dollar went me and so na free 4 cities akodru 18 Ghana cities amanioma boa ye de oba ye 18 ni padwa treasure na ye de ehye ene oba kumase a ma bebre tete asori dem za baifo hye o musika so nya baifo Dr. Bawumia na ntimi ahwe dollar ne so ye na sika na ye de eko arehemu a ye wa ne se ye beto aba asesa woni e de yakosa ohawe mu because the odi yakosa ohawe mu no ntimi fa ye nyede empie ni ato aba e de ama His Excellency John Dramani Mahama aye bida se ne na America fo akere ye kwan no se sankofa ye nchi no na ya ho hiahia brewe mu ene ebra ye wo mu yi no wabeyi ye free eye amana donko ananado ne Dr. Bawumia de akotum de yaba kokko so na yasenya eni da so foforo wo hu American elections no me ya na mentamfa ahode bebre enko eye eniema happen outside your politics but for very strange reasons I feel way American elections and Ghana elections no na ese wa kwani asabebre so se no na ese no nye parties no a air contest no anase omo ashenso de anase omo symbols se ana ne Ghana de ne se ne se yenya certain vice president a opese obedi ni wura ade a one former president eyede ejina na ohwe certain vice president no a ne nsem a no wo ka no ene the vice president a no wo Ghana ha no so pese obedi ni wurade no wo twaka e na ohwe de na former president a wo America no ka no a ene de na former president a wo Ghana no so ka ne yedai wo twaka na all along no MPP for me ati ase say iwiase mu nyina bi si wo ba bia ada say obi abedi ade mfie nan a yato abatia na wasa akode ayede aba na America for ayede akere kwan se sankofa enye de nchi na ohwe Ghana there are two economies and the Ghanaian economy is so interconnected not only in terms of economy but even because of colonial heritage and your linguistics characteristics and only America and the UK and the omunyina na kyerɛ yɛ kwan sɛ it is time for change, it is time for resetting. Where you come to Abanansan, incumbent party, and I say incumbent prime minister, and they Rishi Sunak, will lose one Kessben I had there, but not just a UK for to about their penses, and no America for voting for change. So I try a coin say, Bra ye woman, a year and society brainy I day, ye drew not. And near ma a course who America in Union to the advantage of a year. Former president, and one can also say the former president Mama Kejinamu. The major issue are you Trump agent as well economy. The phrase that is all about the economy stupid near day. High taxes and no near there. America high cost of living no near there. And no and America for do na so de tuaba. And it is telling those of us in Ghana, say Ghana economy basically is about the economy. Ghana election is basically going to be about the economy. And ne you right shak by when me anka say Dr. Baumia economic messiah bi o. Nsamrania near the bono from 2008 when me anka bi o.
He still is.
Fans are only no after they also digitization. Fans are Dr. Baumia now the commando. The fact that you can't even boldly Lord Baumia as an economic messiah as you used to do, no, it's an admission, said Dr. Baumia, failure on the economy, and the economy is now not on in that, and now the economy is not a good platform to market Dr. Baumia on. Now call a year USA, dear back with D. Trump akejinamuno, a stance on LGBT. Most of the states na a year traditionally Democrat. He did very well, especially in the evangelical and the Christian community, the conservative. And now Ghana, ya koshemra say ye mane obane beman na nado danko Akufo-Addo ne Dr. Baumia fan omonsanhye emrasia enne omadwene say omonfa
but send your court.
It's not about a court asem kra. We Article 106 of the 1992 Constitution. The legislative formula as a parliament yemrewia ade SSC ye o see and transmitting from koma president. The president in person obesan on some from parliament na parliament in trade obeye.
ABC Constitution is silent about say will be the Supreme Court.
No, and Supreme Court, you see, when the Constitution prescribes a certain procedure, that procedure is deemed the correct course of action unless otherwise declared.
No,
but the Constitution, Mr.
But judges have plug loopholes. Our Constitution,
you see,
was a normal process.
Loophole be near Constitution we move. A Supreme Court na try say omo I think say omo be save the president from doing something that he does not want to do, because the Constitution is clear. Article 106 in
I know everything about
the parliament pass mra you from the president on one sign. The president
Supreme Court,
the president
or injuncted
injuncted press a parliament from performing a constitutional function.
Okay.
Parliament from performing a function that the Constitution say, and yet you see, Nina say, or man penny na bed the children, almost so or Barney Bema, or Monkwan and
America, the emphasis, mammy.
I made the manubesi, but political party and Neoba Ghana wants to so you see, watch by word and by deed, so on society and so on, the National Democratic Congress. That is why 7 of our MPs was part of the formulation of the bill. Engineer can say, in as much as Untiminka said, yes, we are American, and we have been a bit of Ghana, and America for actually MPP for advantage communication no more. Yes, Obidi Mfie Naya near Tutiano, ya 20 or baby when you're there, and America for a day, actually, Ghana, a democracy equal anymore. No, Sanyama wins you better. So now the American election has put the momentum on our side. Then election I bury in NDC, bury in Ghana. No, it is not because I got to Obama former president. It is because Ghana for at the NDC in fear 9 MP NDC in fear watchano and MPP in fear watchana to Seniani. No more who say NDC, especially the Mahama term, was far better than a year or Mampenina Kufuad on the Dr. Baumia term, and that is going to inform their choice of President Mahama as the next president of the Republic of Ghana. Right.
Yeah, quite any man. Uncle Jack. Oh, I mean, it's be our person or Ghana.
Oh, me feel say.
You want in your policies, no?
Matthias, but it's very important. Say, yebe cancer. John Mahama. What is he really campaigning on? What is major economic transformative policy? Apart from policy, apart from say seven previous, apart from say seven previous, atim didia o didie. Enkoye, what do you say? Head enkoye. So enfie nwotwe na what so ne yetuo ne okotre, you know. So
when them say they see parliament and
LGBT Mahmoud Baumia is very clear on LGBT.
Okay,
no ifs and buts.
Parliament and
the clauses
have policies and so on. Council, my mission is through. As a lawyer, there was between parliament, now TA speaker, press conference or said the executive and the judiciary, so weaken parliament. Na enra ibuza say mokwa hen for the majority when the better majority say send the new decide and the akwesi parliament supremacy of our constitution ne mrakuni wa Ghana ha constitution ne ka say obiye bibi na ne constitution bebra di nipa kro na ye no mra bi a wa ye no ye ntontwe article 1 2 no so ka say obiye bibi no se tia mra one quite saw the Supreme Court, no muchrim. Supreme Court can be at the Supreme Court Becano, a bindu ni pacrono. Sequoia President, Vice Grano Manfanya Juma, it made us to my dear me. Article 130 no such him say, Supreme Court know to me, some church constitution. But now TA speaker say, Parliament or Quine and baby home for so can't be and I say, I should have found the Mika, normally call Supreme Court. You're more yeno, ama a buying on it. Timofo asoye judiciary no epese parliament eyemre the SCA and the NCA kaza what can I say?
Well, I think in all these no me ade ba ko me hunu ne say enema akosomre kakra kire say MPP as a political party enya manyoko a wo se nipa bi oye no kwafo bia no based on their action, their unprincipled and their inconsistency. No, it wasn't nipa bia or ye no kwafo anaso opega na ye bia di won chidi nti na meka sa. Unim say 1PP constitution mu utie say so be a MP 1PP din mu na wo kase o ko independent ada obeka sa asem no automatically wa forfeiting the membership. Or forfeited the membership of the party and therefore cannot hold himself as a member of parliament. Do you know that? Do you know that?
Yeah.
Good. Quite apart from that, you know, omajina sa DNA so ama 2020. Omoje sa emrano eyu omo MP wo formena e de ayede e free parliament. Enti niema ade e wo momo constitution mu. Ade amojina so de yi forming MP free parliament and the backbend the year Juma backbend abed than ebon Samuel Daniel Mamofo. MPP is Ghana's problem. It is this kind of unprincipledness. Nipa oni susu dua bi ode bone bra ade bia no se siutu na no regina no. It is a real danger that we have to be fighting. So the first point that need to be emphasized the inconsistency, the shameless lack of principle on the part of the MPP say adia enade chese mo constitution no kra mo to mo constitution and imun sematwene because of convenience. Ye eno free hono. Speaking as a lawyer, what I know is that constitution bia was certain underlying concepts. And now here a year concept back underlie a constitution a separation of powers. Se Ghana ye kabi mamen kabi ni nyina gina simpie miensa so. Na simpie miensa no insofar as in terms of functions and in terms of personnel, no, they are supposed to be independent. And if over a year, your constitution, the aspect on the legislature from Article 93, just a parliament is a master of its own rules. And a DP parliament here, so far as it conforms with parliamentary standards, no, it's a closed book. No court can look into it.
It is a violating constitution.
No, you see, who violation of the constitution, no, a subjective violation of the and I walk as a Supreme Court bibia a fa emrahu bi omo na wo say kan na omo kan a final no. There is a limitation to that. It is a Wofa Kofi ugina hoyi who what hoyi na ko Supreme Court so omo nchirechire mu no your bar was ye niso a ya committed high crime. No, the basis of the law is reasonability, and I think as someone you back ben kan you say judiciary ne executive no per se kabom no mo wiki in parliament no no do, especially the way the current chief justice or go about issues involving this government, you know. Wama confidence in the judiciary is at an all-time low. Nyame na America, the Afrobarometer report is saying it. And until people have no confidence in the court. People are resorting to some extrajudicial means to say diabo mob action no near the day in America sa. Asembia ekotia abai no. Na Supreme Court abi hurejina aban nachi eye eniema se ne be ya aban ne ho aban no ebetimi enya eye some respite we dey in America sa. Constitution say parliament yemra wi a yemfa mra eye president non sign president is person obe sign a onche ni nche on person obe sign on fa de ne nye de yemra parliament. Parliament ayemra awie or transmitted their parliament or a president or yabe injunct instead of the Supreme Court to say instead of the Supreme Court not to injunct the constitutional formula for making laws, no Supreme Court did on my 2 meaning na kota abanechi asem no wo magia to war for how many years asem what was a canon term ye listing asem no cry for hearing. Na asamwa etia ban the adanwa fiada wa liste asem no after 5 justices edi asem no attre judgment. You are clearly showing signs of bias. That is why lawyers akese bi tise kwaku aza enom ne ayi nyina no ese this current chief justice
asem de na aso adi ni nyina say we were ni anwe.
No, asem no it was in 2 parts. There were preliminary issues that had to know. Yes, and also your asem because no one free won't mean this substantive issue no.
There is a substantive issue.
Yes, no, but asem no what the na adia Supreme Court no ye adia kra first year law students kra are baffled because one the name as far as the law of injunction is concerned, they say so be ba wanim no be pay ex parte injunction. Ex parte chere say me ne wo na enya asem wo ni ho e na me kokasa yemfa taboa enye dey ento so enti sa no ye ma injunctive process no mro 10 days na ya ma other party ne kwan no no so abaye but with the ex parte motion what granted an indefinite stay. It has never happened. Enya mra no ne ye dane no to suit a particular government. It has never happened. It has never happened. But the Supreme Court did it to suit a year almost. Speaker is trying to protect the sanctity of Parliament as another arm of government. Ya woniema bi oha Parliament constitution and man sa tumi no Supreme Court entimi nyusu ono ni tumi no emfa mbule Parliament under the name of constitutional supremacy. What you
say emrasabaja 49 no momoni pa baako NPP 4 the independent baako is omko Parliament speaker be mo ma betrase and now mama
no the mini speaker tremuntinim the speaker be but what I'm saying is that no speaker in under the Fourth Republic has shown
no also before so but this me busa sa no asama ye kan nyina gina saade ne so
no eno no de menim
say speaker mo ba de a just say waje o matum say they are still members of parliament enunti ema MPP kokoso still a majority but speaker ga say maka ndimi omuntimi nwura ha bio a na just say ono na de no but wontimi accept that
one the point is that the current MPP send na yura to force na can e akoye say omo abre omo hu kutuku mfa kra anya dai enwuram nti omo nsam kaye no omo ne ye no boy bra mo ana mo yes ye wo bills bebre wo ho was ye passing into every constituted parliament and MPP MPs omo ana omo parliament 30 kra no omo nru 30 kra no omo nyedai omo nru. These were the people who were shouting from the rooftop say I was say speaker for parliament omo hi omo na mo ye campaign napo as a member of parliament on na mo ye the running mate campaign Dr. Baumia wa hamanfo ye there ewa. So the problem is not the speaker there na make na me dey twa to say no speaker of parliament under the Fourth Republic has shown so much statesmanship and patriotism than Alban Bagbin, much even to the dislike of his party people.
Okay,
the Niema Bagbin, I yet the abu abai we ya on one party for a dinner them.
Okay, me that say.
Edru baby abe passing the NDC forces say and go for be homi and Jomuntum Bagbin say in the name of the national interest, may the mayor none a party for a day, a dinner them. Nene adia Michael Kwe or MPP speaker I trust out to one. Or no the oye na Bagbin the oya in your day.
Okay, me that say lawyer Abbas Nuruddin, Regional Communication Director at my NDC, and what's in Kano for Ashanti region. I'm calling Uncle Shako. When the speaker a canonra and the assessee, no can say there's no constitutional crisis, but me make a canyama boom dia. They say no, be actually at your Supreme Court, but Supreme Court to the answer of Koyeno, and now Honorable Governs Kwame Abuja, or so mono. Supreme Court to the end of the bay, but the speaker cannot and not the edge. But yes, in the say
NDC, I imagine say, Omo de Sakasaka, and I bebo my. Minia, so share the SC8 Parliament way. Now share speaker, ni su, ni bang, ni ye. You know, to the extent to say, on one member of parliament, no yet chief whip. One no year no home and no pavia, a mere hour didn't be so. Mubarak, Montaka. What describe was a speaker was a tyrant. She Kessben, I said in Nebuchadnezzar. Or hinibia or can will be in Kebbi. San or Noan Kasa. And Muntaka is one of the most experienced members of parliament. And although, you know, I am MPP, he's one of those members of parliament that I hardly speak against. What you say? This is description of the man speaker Bagbin. As a matter of fact, in the same conversation, or praise former speaker or friend is Professor Aaron Michael Quay. The same conversation. Enunti enyadia or ye nadwin say ought now swear ye no di yejuma. We know say Speaker Bagbin na eyadia na o kope presidential candidate grade D ewo the NDC. Into becoming a speaker and be proud number 3, he thinks that he's virtually a king, you know, and that's how Muntaka described no say who say ye amanyo nini amanyo sem leader our parliament. I said ye no any fee ahini bi and ato no and wodie and odene boso kakabensem and I'm quoting Mubarak Muntaka. Inia Kofi ye di kan aka bosome baako nasa na wotwe nan nasa ye tase nefu anu a ye akobese aduasa ni akwakoto aba foforo enti edie be pan ne wo NDC mu apart from say amamosem na yentimi nya botre near claim majority just for 4 weeks. It doesn't sit with anybody. 7 previous what daketeso edwene. It doesn't sit. So we a majority. Nese nyese wo pese wo fa kuntuna se mrakwanso bia en fa kwanu e dia be pe majority no na wo dia abeye abedin se hunu. You shouldn't have that appetite. So we pe majority. The real majority is out there, and we are going to show them a parliamentary majority in election 2024 that are already. Onwankasa and this is the chairman at Kenya University say MPP is trying to take majority in parliament in election 2024. Number 2 is that say a memo no esese bosomi we wiebe ebeko na wie no na Minister for Finance Edward Minor Sika edi animu afi 2025 no 3 months no the akọ parliament me akobobo ho agiatum na afei yakwakotua ba ye to wie a na ye de san hyehyeye no January, February, March na ye di adiso na yenya bi di atua adwumayefo akatua including offenders asojafo, police-fo, migration-fo, any abadwumayefo enyina any eniema bebrebe aban pese oye no sa first 3 months no and sana the obewin, and we know positively that it's going to be Dr. Mutbaumia or the full budget for 2025 ababeto say sa dwumadie na esese yedie no eyadia sakasaka ye kosi twasan yewra sumana Kingsford Backbane indeed okaketeswa or reflecte what governance no said yes you bua memo no what dadwene ho say ne ye ni su ne ban any ni party for su ne ban no e promote sa governance system na ye edayenim nana yensa musa biem say is it because education bill na eda ho no esa include say no free senior high school no ye de mra kokotatwo ye no nti and NDC for any almost speaker aye kanana kutiana na if we say research out there indicates Ghana for top priority aban we niema waya ehunhia omopa ompese omhunu say aban oba no obeto so about 85% a free senior high school policy, free TVET, free STEM yenunti emrana ye kwhye no se wo mo etimi ye advert edidi tia sa eniema we say na education bill no portion dealing with free senior high school kwan efa so aye bo ho ban ye no nti ana omo de sa sakasaka yi ba na of course omo parliament no omo here omo so omo grace as gracia honsensem. Okay, so is it because of this? But Minia, let's come to the law. I am not a lawyer. I am not, and I cannot claim to be a lawyer. Okay, apart from commercial law, business law, mine as part of my course. But it is very clear, say, and yet practicing parliamentary supremacy of governance system. My Ghana. The person China say, and yet the parliament be Chinasia tunu who say me and a mashisha memra, men and me de memra so na men me ya or kabi and kabi that is the United Kingdom. No. Yeah, gentlemen say it is rather the supremacy of the constitution. And your mind no mra ye dia to hono, ye no any see a chiban kesia efa yamamuo emra ehye ene eho enkodiaba ndi sanet ya dia ene neche se won hye ya eda parliament standing order 18 na wugina so a wodidi sa ne ma no nyina no ye no ehye constitution na se it is subservient to the constitution enti edien ene sakasaka yi a ebe what I say. Indeed, Article 19(1)(a) is a constitution. The only entity obetimi declare seat be say a vacant. The High Court. High Court make a declaration. 99(1)(a).
19,
99(1)(a). Ono kwa na bet me this argument. 99(1)(a). 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 Nisa, muji tumudia. Na fe conflict in every hinfa. If you believe in the supremacy of the Constitution, and you believe, say, in terms of, say, parliament seat woho, na ye kase, ni pakron na konya wacheso no, ye hwane to akonya. Sa, jinasie no, esese a free high court na ebadia. Na afeinka, ye how they say. Indeed, say, ye share one kasa one manyokumwa. Yeshua mwankasa omama nyukumwa yewra tei nyawanu lowa menya krobo otiso ena o declare an intention the next parliament say oko independent ni say tini yan declare vacant. It's not automatic. Okay, yewra Joe osewusu enso so no ye independent candidate. Please, what the independence and the core parliament at the time of the independent core parliament, the next parliament, no filing, no filing to contest in the name of the New Patriotic Party. You declare the seat vacant. And sakasaka no modeba amambuno. Sakasaka enye anchored for me, in the law. Ena modi edi sa juman. Okay? Yo. Yanunti yebesremo. Pa. What you say? And then Article 131 okay, the Constitution means that the Supreme Court says as it is. The Constitution means what the Supreme Court says it is. And now the court, Supreme Court. If you say in Chechemuno and Ninawa, the Supreme Court of Bekano, you know the Constitution. 131. So what you say? You don't see your best say you're backbone. As so what you say. So we are Bema Bibriba Yakujao. Okay. Na say if you are saying it, say try so be ma won say mo din bebrebe ye boom. Okay. Now media me feel say very clear say Supreme Court had in the ruling beba saying 11th meboa. Yeah. Detailed ruling ebeba ne ba and na fame visa ebe settle bibia na die and this for ye die. It doesn't look as if one more per se on mine no yetimi nya somdue na ye dey mine. That's right Ishak Brobe and also attending Okasa me say Okasa e dey ma ruling New Patriotic Party we dey kind lawyer Abbas Rodin Kasabre akesima na bot non kron the punch you made na o Kessben television so ma me hwe message kakra na ba me member 1 minute na fi yenko the economic policies and programs about hold on and so e dey aba so this one is coming was Wofa, good evening. Baumia is the best now that can bring a positive change in Ghana. Baumia means business. Baumia is for the job. Vote number 1 to protect the free SHS. Atimbila Pato Kintampo. Good evening, Wofa. It's crystal clear that there is a constitutional crisis in Ghana. A clash, and I was a clash. I think a clash between the speaker and the judiciary. When two elephants fight, it's the grass will surface. Barumba, head teacher, Manso actually the primary school. And also Nedie, I don't know. I am Apostle Paul. 1 month ago, John Mama said that Ghanaians, even if a dog stands, you vote for him. Please ask NDC man, can a dog stand for any party? Please, John Mama should find a leadership book to read and also read Colossians chapter 4 verse 6. Thank you. Okay, this one is coming from Abebio Asante Mampong. Say good evening. NDC don't have any policy. NPP all the way. Okay. This one is coming from previously removing some parliamentarians from parliament is very sought for speaker, but now have been characterized by issues which Supreme Court have a sole mandate to interpret. The Constitution will become a law after their ruling, and that is what the Speaker and the NDC
purpose to turn the Parliament House to theatre. Ray, the salary of the parliamentarians should be withheld till they resolve this issue by the finance minister. Good evening, Mr. Host. Please kindly tell the NDC lawyer to stop that aggressive, abusive, and insulting words and special. Bibi Okaya only in Yavia no actually. Since this 2024 election began, I never heard any NDC professors, presidential candidate, all of them talk out. Okay. This one says, under the fourth industrial revolution, Ghanaians need well-visionary invitation and technologically inclined personality to move the nation to that level. There is no other person than Dr. Bawumia, not that Nkokon Ketinketi man, Mahama Ula from Aguna. Good evening, Ofa. We need a government that is committed to the free SHS system. A government that is prepared to commit the resources to finance it. Can we entrust the free SHS policy to someone who did not believe in it in the first place? Someone who said it was a gimmick? I can see 24 hours of doing so than a 24-hour economy. The second coming of Mahama will be more dangerous than World War II. It is possible, Mahama, never again. Hubert, inside Ahrewa Bonte Fuo. Of a good evening, the mind of Americans is about their country. The mind of NDC is about their selfishness, and it shows in the parliament. It is possible from if you do good, do you say news side that your name? Anyway, it says, good evening. Please ask the NPP man that why is it that Dr. Bawumia cannot talk about the economy of Ghana on any of his campaign platforms? Ghanaians were made to believe that he's an economic messiah in 2016. What is the state of the following economic indicators now? The dollar to the cedi rate, inflation, unemployment, economic growth. Ghanaians should vote wisely. He says, good evening, Wofa Kofi. Please, Abbas is telling lies. The LGBT, it was a delay because of Babin. It's not President Nanado and Vice Presidents. Speaker and minorities in Ghana are lawless and disrespect the judiciary. And I'm assuring them that Ghanaians will punish them come 7th December, bright from Takwa. Please, is Trump going to rule Ghana? I'm sure this same Trump said, blacks, we are shithole. What is NDC man saying? Okay, good evening, Wofa Kofi. I am Sir Amas from Jache Bosomche. The NDC who are jubilating about Trump victory in the USA has got nothing to do with our election in Ghana. Election in Ghana here. And they should not forget that whenever Republicans win, MPP also win. DMB, it is possible. This is Wofa. Good evening. Please tell the NDC man that he shouldn't talk about the economy. And if Ghanaians want someone to come and rescue us from, as not former President John Mahama, he doesn't have anything better for Ghanaians. Mr. Host, I'm Amos Sechi from Konongo Praso, Omesco Junction. Mr. Host, please, I want you to ask the NPP for me. Is Ghana suffering or not? Because Dr. Bawumia said teachers are suffering, nurses are suffering, police are suffering, and etc. It says, good evening, lawyer, please. Okay, this is an old one. Good evening, Mr. Host. Please tell Abbas for me that it is not just the law that can fight against LGBT, but action. There's a saying, show me your friend and I'll tell you your character. Mahama is known of okay. Nanado Bawumia doesn't have that. Mike Aprade. Okay. Good evening, Wofa, and your panelists. What has happened in America will not happen in Ghana. NDC should campaign about issues and stop the insult. We are moving forward, no turning back. Dr. Bawumia and NPP all the way. It is possible. An Equia from Takwa. Good evening, Wofa. I'm Juliana from Awoshia, Dr. Bawumia all the way. Good evening, Wofa Kofi. NDC did not have anything good for Ghanaians, so we should vote for Bawumia and his good work. Nanedu is my name. If I were me, no so na fi inside emetoaso. Good evening, Wofa, and your panelists. What has happened in America will not happen in Ghana. Okay, the next PM said no one was saying a trouble be win. Teacher Eric from Manso Watreso, aka Ubie Hieska. All MPP parliamentary candidates should be voted to occupy the majority during December 7 elections, and Ghanaians should vote for Dr. Bawumia as our next president of Ghana. And also, the phobia from Obuasi Tuka. It seemed the entire NDC a sort of campaign message. That's why they are behaving like this in Parliament. Even the Speaker of Parliament does not respect the Supreme Court. NDC never again. Our only hope is in Dr. Bawumia and nothing else. Greetings to our two MPs. Kwaku Kwate and Dr. Boachiadom, including the only DC formula Fosina Emisa Obatampa of Boas East and West. This coming from Phobia or Boase Tutuka. Quickly, Kansas see a queen.
Nami was Nami Casa MPP nya manyoko a obi a sebe or ye no kwafobia and say or pet principles in Ghana. Say the principle boy bia. So and Mr. Ishak demonstrated that. When Speaker Michael Kwe, Ijina Samra we also at the Pamu Siamano, he was on radio and TV defending it. Mr. Ishak was all over defending it. The Speaker has applied the law. Law is the law.
Bring it. I'm not a lawyer. I didn't speak.
Back then, yes, I didn't lawless. It's shameful. This lack of principle, this inconsistency is shameful. And who won't call for Mudi or mine swa or Muni Susu Diabi or Mode Bobra, now DBS, 2 or 1 or more regional. That is what you get. Ebio Wofa MPP a few more politics or more yet said your more in 2008 or Mulusu, you know. Or more corporate calendars, the Virginia KJT hair, Mosako Tomato Mills, Rollins Ibeka Maya Sema. That is exactly what they are doing. Politics of desperation. Oh, Mahama ba ubecha free education. Mahama or launching progressively free education 2015. ACC are dying. Say you find your free education. Ashanti region house secondary school Mako 13. Expanding infrastructure in 4 years. In 8 years, MPP is nupe. Or no, MPP has built only two operational secondary schools. Almost a STEM Mahama, apart from say expanded infrastructure. Our existing SHS no was says in secondary school 13 or no MPC free education. Now one now person free education. There are about 800 over Kofi. There are about 800 secondary schools in Ghana. About 500 of them were built by the NDC.
Okay, see about policies now. Policies now.
About 500 of them were built by the NDC. NDC secondary schools. Ama wooden kwalabi gumuno. Oh, say, free education. I won't now pay free education. This is a complete joke. What you say? Eya sresem. Entine omuko galamse saita. Motoma mahama. Obeba be gu galamse. The only abayanswa waba wagu galamse. Ama odiama onone party for MPP. When Nanado imposed a 2-year ban on galamse a ma wuntu mi nom ne sampan mo nom ni ade ne nam forest reserve mo no e yo no kwa na ye de yes you get a point omukọ abrofuo mu a moko to mama hama oba or the 24-hour economy or the light baba bobo mafuo mama ado anwumre omukọ zongo a someone to amaba umi o ye kremonia munya kremoni. You see that politics of desperation ye di hu nom ni ade e sha manfo baba. I'm telling Mr. Ishak say Mahama launched progressively free education in 2015, which is a fact. Mahama built educational infrastructure, which is a fact. As someone more can say, in this year, advocate free education. 2008 and 2012, and another eka free education. Once a more running advert say free education. The uhiani ajare. Yes, we are saying why now bet me aka say obe school udare noa now de na kojina secondary school ano aban na beto trunk aban na beto chobos aban na beto milo and yes free education na 419 ababia ni obet me ayesa and time has vindicated us say sir advert na mo run yes free education de mu hia na adware no it was a lie and na obi be ko school day student or say e ka obo wakwala ne ho ye 3500. And then kwala ekọ border oba ekọ boarding unkra 1,000 unkra 5,000 I want to be mwabwa na ho. So why is the free? And the free education is a good policy. And this year constitution yan yedi shemu article 25 clause 1B say education America was say progressively free. Mahama launching progressively free education 2015. Now those who be rolling it out on a large scale. But
about him about the okay no. The okay mo can say mo ye adverts free education for one ani aditi. Nti ade a mo amose mo amala.
No na me chirem asem wa me chirem di achiro. Enye 2015. 2015 we did not run adverts on free. It was in 2012.
Okay.
MPP kwaye advert say free education na nanado dey ba no obawie SSR the ohia ne say obedware no na wo de na secondary school
obawie JSS
obawie JSS dware no na fa ne ko gina secondary school kwan no abai beto trunk abai beto chobos abai be bibia ofa kofi ne sa na tie na nye sa na tie. So and this we were vindicated say as someone MPP for kano it was a lie. What you say ene akwalako school 1 month no abetena few 3 months wo de ne call double track extra classes e ka wo be bona ya asem keto a enu nkwada ne nkwala school abai we the free education bo Ghana nyansa kro no unim sika omo so o ma spend on free education in 8 years of Kofi is getting to 20 billion. Says sika na
to say enu sa
no the American say e die nti na wo so was spend 20 billion Enkwala ko school mu nya aduane ni. Ne school bebre akwala akọ 1 month gari na de bia ankwala ni di. Mo nso ba tweskase ye de man kwala di scan fa hi. Enne nkwala no ye se wo ba akokọ a wo bedi no wa fa wasi kire ye dai ebra. Enti sika no amotemo de ye free education no e fa hi. Ya ka to nkofo trim ne de bo o manfo nyansa kro no. Enne books me wo fa se e wo form 2. Ne books dodo na wo use no me ana matoma de. Ne uniform kra wo be hye no. Ama uniform e wo so hye ne form 1 no. Ama miana masako pambi dia de amano uniform obesha no form 1 no form 2 na ye there by. So free education is a good policy, but because of the MPP here no must collapse Ghana educational system into man panyini Mahama say 1 free education oba obeye no 1 be ni ye obeyi double track free ho double track e be free ho no. There are about 450 private SHS in Ghana. Some of them if you get about 250 to 300 of them to enroll on free education. Double track be free home. And most of them association why mo
free private senior high schools.
Na any omampanyin Mahama aye meeting. Akacha omampanyin John Dramani Mahama say omonso ye Ghana for entisika omutua per every Ghanaian for public secondary school no. Omonso be dey omonso beje nti aban e in the short term no aban de nkwala no e bi be ko private school ni atua de ye tuama eyina bia de whilst we expand infrastructure in public schools near secondary school for in order to absorb them. 2 free education ye wo ho sese no first you call SHS the ntia na aduane e ho nye den no na headmasters any school no ano e na ye food procurement. But ne yaje e dia kotena baby de my MPP women organizers ye tue omo kaba aduane na nyade emma o mampanyi John Dramani Mahama say in na breso ne be decentralize ade na ye ne senior first ane ye no no a na aduane ho asemo nyade emma no ebie free education e wo ho sese no there is no financial backing. You need definite stream of income be a free education o mampanyi John Mahama si oba obeye mra na ya pe sika bi abebo free education no
yes ebra Roma yo si akra no
yenye
Roma ya ka parliament
embra bia omo kano about 6 months ago if it was their priority the Okaisa Ofenyo markets be can start some way in March. If it were their priority they would have done it. What I say beto abento omo be ye bibi e de brigana whether they do it or not Omampanyini Mahama so oba obeye. So this is what Omampanyini Mahama is bringing to the table. Okay. But now MPP ni Mahama ba will be free education mu where your manifesto me will and someone make Kenya where your manifesto. And what the party says is in its manifesto no idea and no idea will be me hold do no to it. Okay. Ya won't call Mary.
First mami.
Hey.
First.
I make us 5 minutes or something.
What's that take? 6 minutes after 9.
Are you sure?
So me can message you be see hope 6 minutes after 9.
6 minutes. Really?
So he has done 10.
Yanko. I can't 1 minute now.
Wow.
So no problem.
Dear, yeah, can I say MPP ni eba wo no be catch wo say John Mahama ba obetwa free education mu a send who nobody has invested in educational infrastructure, whether the tertiary or secondary level, more than the NDC. The NDC, IAS secondary schools, a person Ghana focus school. No, how can we be against a free education? And now, who said the MPP for can you contompa policy be anywhere? Or Mampenyiku for the buyer and a papa NDC by you betray.
Okay.
Wofa Kofi Appiah, or Mampenyiku for the youth employment by you by you. Or Mampenyiku for the metro mass by you by you. To say MPP need be catcher will say NDC about betray free education more. Catcher they said the campaign not to consume only message and no money message in Tino. O can be free education. MPP near young quite crana and yet that was a free education. What? How about the other sectors of the economy?
Okay. That's a lawyer Abbas Nuruddin. Akishak.
Wofa Kofi.
Policies.
Wofa Kofi. NDC discussion on education has always been bizarre. It has always been bizarre. So, first of all, you buy senior high schools, makum. Edu ISTM senior high schools. A move 5. A operational. Oh. Ghana 7 year can and Ashanti region kwa 7 year can. Platform way for Ashanti region and I say for national platform. In any case, please.
Make Ashanti region.
Please. In any case. In any case. But some girls. Yeah, what a friend is saying, Daba, Papa Kofo,
It is not in operation.
Oh.
It is not in operation.
Oh, Bema. Oh, Casamitra, me yedin. What you say? Pasampe, SHS, North, Awaso. Bawe SHS. So please, yes, 10 STEM schools, 5 operational. Are you offering to say STEM no? Is it not in operation? And yet offering to say I don't go for pension buy. Man call if you say you can't sector more pension more the 2 year any year education. Wofa Kofi Anka, some running adverts against free senior high school. As a matter of fact, Yura or friend is saying, Ufosu Kwachi, was a vote buying gimmick. And I don't go for any MP before Kanwasam. As a matter of fact, what friend is saying, current general secretary, some know the propaganda secretary, Fifi Kweti. Was it free SHS now? I don't know who so the banner 419. Yeah. That is what is called all lie be lie. Is it Ghana for money? What you say? Yera John Dramani Mahama say Ghana must not introduce free senior high school policy on a whimsical promise of a desperate politician. John Mahama no dear. When deserves are no better be because I phone one worker. A dear be a peer free and be anxious will be a statesman. Okay, I know I can't say one no. I don't go for a budget now. I know 2 billion Ghana cedis allocation to free senior high school. Was see and it's a 2 billion to spend there. As I say, we spend 2 billion education. This is the man and the party that wants to say, and they want to beat me in school. Yamamo. And yet, a tear for near for Muankasa, when what you say, yeah, at the stem on Naba and Ne and Quadaco Square, Womukosia, were friends say aerospace engineering, artificial intelligence, robotics, any dia 21st century skills. And the man Corano, Yababa to TVET. around best 13,000 enrollment. TVET is now over 60,000 enrollment and still counting. Go and check every single TVET school. A offender saying equipment idea go and crown the edition. Said the bayer on bayer, employable. A friend is saying covered by one of the countries are covered I hate to in terms of unemployment challenge. Germany is because of the way Oma build you around technical vocational education and training. What you say? NDC 4 and can say Yera John Mahama say no teacher training allowance, nursing training allowance, Arabic instructor allowance, Papako for at the buy or buy no be chemu say you took Tiano. Now he doesn't have principles. Obia will now see free senior high school no and mad Danko Kufadum Fama on a whimsical promise or no Adudanka as a desperate politician. Was I channel Sam Ray and no Marco Kone see a video on the buy. Hey, sir, Sanya Kamambo and Careful. Sadia Mukasi Yamfa or mine Mamo 2008. Papako for edit. National health insurance eba kama na muka say moba implementing national health insurance mbehye mukena na mo amayede one time premium mutua premium ba kwa untua bpm na ye ntro na ye na ada moba ye montimi anye ye nti etiefo Ghana for munhwe Yera John Mahama eyie pa. As a matter of fact we say through that time say ye kwakoto abeya wo amanyofo titiri wo no John Mahama no ka no kra kakra wo twan control kakra drum ebi so wo de frafra John Mahama no asem nyame no asem. What I say, you can't trust the future of the youth, in the hands of Yera John Dramani Mahama. It is under Adodankwa Akufo-Addo and he did no guarantor policy aba. Say said ya me ko university na me hia guarantor dipa miensa na omu di agina mu ma me na nsa na metimi anya me low no. Under Dr. Mudba Omi was the hia na Ghana card. What has here? Say no guarantor policy no na for undergraduate programs no mo ye degrees ni say Dr. Mudba Omi say oba wo mo ye certificate program wo mo ye diploma program wo mo nyina betimi a benefit from the the student loan. Again, what see Dr. Mudba Omi say obehwe na GMPC a scholarship. Na Cocoa Board a scholarship. Scholarship Secretariat a scholarship. And na Get Fund a scholarship. Oba me consolidated scholarships into one. Said ye be visibility and transparency ebebem. Na ni teach you said ye na ye marijuana. Islamic Senior High School 55% of population a marijuana. Okwa fee school 52% population a marijuana. Okwa Ghana Muslim Mission Senior High School 53% a marijuana. Dr. Mamudu Baumia say eninti si ye kambo mwa esese si ye ma scholarship among marijuana ako school mema ako school esese ye chade pe. We memwa ha esese we marijuana ha. As a matter of fact, media and my opinion say, case here man no crab base 51, 52, here man base 48, 49. What you say? If we say one more does to say across the country in terms of female enrollment, and this is what our friend is saying. Kweji agree. So if you educate a man, you educate an individual. If you educate a woman, you educate the entire society. And this is where Dr. Omodo is driving at. So there will be gender parity in terms of scholarship. Dr. Mahmoud Baumia say no. Dear senior high schools that tablets no. Introduce to digital skills right from the time of school mo. Na universities no. Yes, ma obia wo university bi so digital skills. Because I said the school now African studies and now say something like that across board. Everybody will also be given a laptop near their free near This is the way. This is the way to go. This is the way to go. Dr. Amadou Bawumia say Open University is also coming on stream. Open University is coming on stream. Yanunti idea. There is no site MDC phone to be from home to ye. One can say, first year for one at school fees academic free academic. And I mean, say, see, kind of free here, beba. Sikano, every get fund. I'm saying, really? My main control say student loan trust no two places are student loan trust the sikadi kokum near the most students no students loan. One a get fund, two a portion of the communication service tax. Now say what friend say get fund now they cost support to level 100 for school fees. You are actually killing the student loan trust. This. I
feel like catcher will say, oh, and this is because starting
26 this is Dr. This is the new petrochemical. This is what another than Kufuadua has done, and this is what Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is added.
Okay. Wofa Kofi. But I say, right, Shaq Ruby, and what in Kano. Council, remember so. Education, education, no, what happens
it is important say about radio so near Bekasa factual. Or CNDC cancel allowance for Arabic teachers. This is graphic online. 2nd December 2015. 6,000 Arabic teachers offered employment under YETA. Or 6,500 Arabic teachers have been offered employment under the Youth Employment Agency to teach Arabic studies in Islamic schools across the country. Their engagement is expected to address the human resource deficit facing Islamic schools that operate under the Ghana Education Service. Launching the Arabic Teachers Program, an initiative of the YEA in Accra yesterday, the Chief Executive Officer of YEA, Mr. Kwabna Ebobech, and blah, blah, blah. So that's statement.
You cancel all the allowance.
So
you cancel
statement, please.
You cancel all the 3 allowances. You cancel all of them. You cancel, please. This is on record. You cancel all the 3 allowances. You cancel all the 3 allowances.
I don't want to engage in this matter with you.
You did.
So if you have did. So no, please. If you have been exposed, I expect you to retract and apologize.
You cancel all the 3 allowances.
Please.
You cancel all the 3 allowances.
Let me have all of time. You
cancel all of them.
I've read graphic.
1 minute.
You cancel all of them.
I've read the graphic online.
Cancel 1 minute.
I've read the graphic online publication to you. I actually say 6,500 Arabic instructors were employed in 2015 2nd December. Unless opposite TF4 who say when you be a sebi, what's some more work on no crabby womb. No more befanesa, then I expect you to if you don't have any data. This
is not correct. You cancel all the allowances.
Please.
You cancel all of them. As a matter of fact, book and research allowance. No more initiative process. Somebody cancel book and research allowance. That's the kind of economy that you built.
Superior document.
That is the kind of economy that you built.
Okay.
All the 3. You cancel all the 3 allowances. I'm saying
I've provided a source.
Okay.
Or your academic
response.
On train sign, he will be seen as somebody who is not factual, who is saying without any
NDC running into IMF. Now, almost a month through the journey to cancel allowances. They cancel teacher training allowance.
Why is your source? This is a shame. So we are a lecturer. Only the important of source. You are saying over source to the mind. Maybe the graphic online publication, and you are it means as a lecturer. You should, as a lecturer and a researcher, you know the importance of attaching. No, you are not being factual. You are not being.
Okay.
No, but this is your time. This is shameful. Who's our shape process? All cancel offend is saying lecturers offend is saying book and research allowance. Do I have to provide the source? What I'm saying is, do I have to? Where is your source?
What can some without any basis?
Oh, any basis.
Yeah, the evidence about Ashanti region. Where is the program now? Secondary school is not operational.
Research allowance.
You are a lecturer.
The point you made now,
Where is your fact? Where is your fact?
Parliament.
General discussions. Where is your fact?
One article. Did you put a single article?
Mr. Ishaq,
apologize. Someone building was Ashanti region.
We saw our Kessben television. So, no crab up our smart Ediasa Emino, right? Shark Brobe, strategic communicator, Eddie Emma, and people say lecturer, Kumasi Technical University. On it, lawyer, Abbas Rudi, Yonsi, Ashanti Regional Communication Director, the Ma NDC, one more and Ewaha. You move on from education, Nayako, Sikasem, Ghana May, Sikasem, the economy. Niahwe simabeye eduonu ntem metie de mpanifo mienu eka mama me ka me messages no because amanfo 80 no mentie omo so de a enye. Greetings, Mr. Host. I don't know what the lawyer is coming from in law. Even if a member of parliament does anything which can make him lose his or her seat in parliament, it is the High Court which will determine whether he or she loses his or her seat. What Professor Okwe did was wrong. And was the duty of the MP affected, the time to go to court to question his speaker's decision. Let us respect our courts. The parliament can cease to exist. Same to the executive. The court will continue to exist till thy kingdom come. Abraham from Aguna. You know the way a free a buyer. And yes, but I'll try my best. Anyway, it says, good evening, Kessben TV. The behavior of the MPs is very laughable. The same people who asked for Parliament to reconvene for government business to be undertaken are the same people who dodged Parliament. Indeed, if they want, they should go to the same Supreme Court to undertake the government business because Mr. Speaker's Senate dying. Part 1 and 2 will continue. When the wind of losing an election is blowing, wind, okay. These are the characteristics. On only the air or the buyer, I don't know. Good evening, Mr. Host. I wonder why MPP communicators cancel most of the things they have done to the general public. The NDC is aware of what the MPP have done in bringing the nation thus far. Kudos to MPP communicator in your studio, Dixon Nimakon from Asante Agona. A champion Calgary Electricals at Tulsa Station. Nobody Abbas must know that when Donald Trump was president of America, the economy was good. There was no doomsday in America during his tenure. There was no cancellation of allowance. There was no insult against any tribe. There was no discrimination against any certain people. But former President Mahama of Ghana did all these things during his tenure as president. So no way to give him another chance to come and rule this country. Even much afraid of to come and cancel the free SHS. If Ghanaians give him the mandate, what will happen? Regards to Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Good evening, Mr. Host. My name is Frank from Achim Kede. Please tell the NDC man to stop that aggressive, insulting, and learn from MPP communicated. Any insult to party but aggressive in the MP because children are watching the program ever since 2024 election campaign started. I never see any NDC professors. Okay, I think we read this one earlier on. Good evening. I'm Christopher from Supom. NPP is winning 2024 election. Mr. Host, tell Speaker and NDC they should stop personal interest and do the right thing at the right time for Mother Ghana. Kojo Sumaila, Kintampo North, and not way free buy. I am Langa. All I can say is the NPP can't be trusted. You won't allow them again. It's impossible for them. Abbas Amogubo from Offenso. We are all voting massively for John Mahama. We need development, not executive. Greetings to incoming MP for Offenso, Honorable Vincent Asare Bediakon. DKB, Mem Ahafo. Good evening. In fact, if it will be suicidal for Ghana to let former President Mahama again into this 21st century, where men want to stay on Mars and Jupiter, where science and data at work, where the organization is at work, we should better move forward with the modern president, Dr. Bawumia, not backwards. I don't blame Babin. I blame the NPP MPs who voted for him to become the speaker from Efrie, Kumase, Asafo. Mr. Host, told the NDC that Ghanaians are not going to repeat the mistake they did in 2008, that we didn't continue the good works of former President Kufuor, Martin Osu Ansa. Good evening, Mr. Host. I am Latif Abdul from Elembele. This year's election is purely about the economy. It's about how Ghanaians feel in their pockets. Ghanaians will definitely vote for an experienced person who really knows how to drive and not a mate. It's time for change. It's time for resetting. Vote John Dramani Mahama, the nation builder. Honorable Chief Soso, future MP from Good evening, Wofa Kofi. In fact, does ex-President Mahama and Abbas think that we are still in the era where politicians will rain insults against the opponents for power? Indeed, Dr. Bawumia has changed the narrative. And as far as political insults concerned in Ghanaian politics, so we should appeal to Ghanaians to vote for Dr. Bawumia, number 1 on the ballot. Greetings to Dr. Richard Buedu of Kessben and Dr. Ben Asante of Ghana Gas. This one is coming from Cosmos Bichim. Good evening, Mr. Host. When dollar was 4 cedis, Mama couldn't do free SHS, cancel nurses allowance, pay 2 months of teacher's salary instead of 3 years. 3 years work done. Doom so all over the country. Mahama and NDC never again. Good evening. Mahama coming back again as president is like an insult to Ghanaians because he said Ghanaians have short memory. Mahama, never again. Bawumia all the way. Say Ike inside Atebu. Good evening, Uncle. Please, let's vote for the MPP to save Ghana. Greetings to Dr. Gideon Buakon, incoming MP for Tanon North constituency from Razak 18. Good evening, sir. The NDC should lose again because Elephant won at America, so Elephant will win in Ghana. Okay, Offer, please. Speaker should know that Parliament or legislature doesn't make laws, but rather enact laws. What the difference between making and enacting? So when it comes to the implementation or interpretation of it, the work is of the judiciary. No speaker should listen to the judiciary. So the speaker should listen to the judiciary. Okay, that's what we want to say. But good evening, please. Ghana is now not being controlled. Hey, Rafono. Ghana is now not controlled by the constitution again. If the Supreme Court can force the NDC, who else? I don't want. Okay, Brofono. I'm fancy here. Kojovi from Techimai. Mahama has sworn heaven and earth that he will cancel the free SHS if he's voted to power. Senyako from Mampong. You gave the platform to the NDC man to show his policies. By this saying nothing but attacking NPP. NDC never again. The NDC man, Mahama must go to the history of Nanado and learn how to govern a country. The NDC man is lying. There is no school will allow you to bring your own uniform without a prescription one. it's not yet in Bismarck. Atruma Takoradi. This one, it says, good evening, Wofa Kofi. I am Isaac Entry from Yachi. We are voting to protect free SHS policy this year. No amount of lies can change our mind. Good evening to Dr. Educhum. Lawyer Bass, if you talk like this on TV about free SHS, you will lose votes in Ashanti region. Dr. Educhum all the way. It is possible. Hello, please tell the NDC man in your studio that no matter what propaganda they do, Ghanaians are not fools to bring the incompetent Mahama and his incompetent NDC to power. They are going to stay in opposition forever. It says, good evening. I'm watching you live from Manson Kwanta. Ghanaians are now descending enough to choose between the two major political parties, and our politicians should guard against intemperate and volatile language. Baru from Manso Nkwanta. It says, MPP has nothing to offer except lies and religious propaganda. MPP and their cronies think Ghanaians are fools to come and let us go through the crisis we went through for the past 8 years. They should talk about the economy and the exchange rates. Good evening. Mahama was president. Could have equally done all that he's saying now. Ghana is not enough deck for him to rewrite after failing. Amufuri inside Nkoko. Good evening. Please ask the NDC man. They cancel 4 years back to 3 years. SHS. Rockstone from Techimai. Good evening, senior. What is the NDC man talking about? You were in Ghana here when the 3 northern region schools delay reopening due to lack of food. Grounds are favorable for DMB, not the insults of our candidate. Wofa, I don't understand why NDC communication team always tell lies. They think we don't read or don't know what is going on in our education system. From KJC Asante Efijase. Good evening, Mr. Host. Let the NDC man know that John Mahama fought against free SHS. They destroyed National Health Insurance policy. So if you are a critical thinker, you will never vote for them. Only propaganda. The MPP, okay. Please ask the NPP communicators, ask Daumia to build 42 SHS in the northern region. Okay. MPP is still talking about free SHS 2016. Ask him about the economy and the exchange rate. Okay. The messages are many. Because hey, Mahama will prosecute this MPP government. Also the other by one. Please ask. Good evening, please. By God's grace, Ghana has come to this state that MPP has the president, NDC has the Speaker of Parliament. Aside the number of MPs in the same, except independent man, NDC couldn't get better understanding to fix the country well. Look at Galamsey, look at coronavirus, looking at the youth who have no work. This time was the best for NDC to help the youth. 2025, they have nothing for Ghana. Good evening, Kessben TV. I am Dramani watching from Jamasi. Mr. Host, it's like whenever the NDC man is on floor, that your questions start coming. But when the MPP man is talking, you don't have questions. Hey, this is not fair at all. You are making all of us know your stance. Really? Okay. Did they not collect revenue in their time? Did they not borrow in their time? Did not use our oil money? Yet they could not solve electricity problem for 4 years. They told us to pay realistic prices while we were suffering, and then said we have eaten the meat and left with the bones, and said Yentiobia, and then said Miujonfunu. Then finally he said Ghanaians have short memory. So what is he coming to do? Messages no doorson. Mr. Minka would have fetched me. Whereas meeting me as I can be brenunti na yemra na yemehwe economy na. Kakra ansa na yasore so gete ya eba ebotumu eni adwuma yeye agishak abisha sifuru so oman no sikasem oman fasetrem unu se be play role e ba ye beto afimu.
Oh, it has always been na minim say Ghana for atiase wie dada e dey time so much atiase wie dada. Ntiasie no ene se ahokyere sikasem abababia and your my Ghana. This is what President Mahama Kai Emra Okaputri was say the pandemic has had a generally deleterious effect on the economies of African nations. Just say COVID-19 a buy, ne Russian war in Ukraine at Bekan ye chino a yadia ama ahunya sikasem atwapi ayeding ewo na bibi memoir ono ofriba. This has devastated many African economies and sunk them deeper into unsustainable debts and economic downturn. I repeat that. And sunk them deeper into unsustainable debt and economic downturn. You are John Dramani Mahama Numa said no. Okatuna Bridge. Now, you are John Dramani Mahama, Eba Bedru Ghana dia. Oh, o minus Casamona Ahunia Abano. And yet, Bibiana Diaba, a Yakuva Nebawumia. Yanona makachre wono continuously. Say, omo ka say omo the one-time premium na ebeba. Omo buy omo amfa. As a matter of fact, national health insurance subscription is declining here. Ubehwe na omo provide facilities that no omo provide health care crane the national health insurance no omo sika asese etwama omo na enko. Yen na enim sem under Yera John Dramani Mahama ena yenye adum so for mfie 9. Under Yera John Dramani Mahama and I may say my cases say or cancel allowances. He was also in the process of all cancel, or friends saying lecturers or friends a book and research allowance. These are facts. What do you say? A lawyer or friend is saying NDC regional communication director. All kasa on Parliament as a lawyer. Not a single article. And I'll mention here. Who can say customer in China? So these are the facts. As a matter of fact, under the Danko Akufo-Addo, yen short to know your hospitals. Under the Danko Akufo-Addo, yen konko di queue say ye kwakoto petrol. Meanwhile, 2014, Opa Google, Onaya Master Googler. 2014, there were queues. What is here? Economy, I want me and fan support to allowances payment. Economy, homo building here. Kaya ye necessary, kaya ye money to tax. What you say? Economy, homo building here. Me mami abuaju ane sikaya wodi kwa ewurem akwakodo. No nya biedi. No aboni tuku. And so cry, yes, I had tax egu so. Rent here condoms in now the taxes egu so. This is the kind of economy that you built. What is here? Adodanko Akufo-Addo economy, enye economy ye 4 years dum so. Enye economy ya cancel allowances for students. Enye economy yes kase tertiary students omunko tuya utilities. That's the kind of economy that you pretended over. What you say? Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is saying, look, a drum pempenswa, a sese ye the cover the better in Russia war in Ukraine better say no say building resilience our economy the basis here. And to build the resilience, number one, and say idea what the tax reforms enable. Building the resilience, because resilience and then build there external shocks be about yet me anymore. And the first thing that he has promised to do, number one, the tax reforms, and they say we'll be introduce a flat rate tax. Again, we're making sure say you simplify your corporation tax, any your VAT taxes in your bomodia, your CSC amana import duties, everything are going to be on the flat rate. And above all, a idea what the tax amnesty eba ubia would deka ewo eto na yedi bema na say scan would be called rawajuma now the rawajum informal sector as I say yedu omo nyina eba tax net no. His position is that is going to increase Ghana's revenue for not less than 2% of GDP, which is about 20 billion. And then on the fiscal consolidation side, let me end it there, is that yɛsɛ yɛbɔ na aban size no ɔno ne boss ɛde 86 na yɛ adwuma ɔno de 50 ɛna bɛyɛ adwuma sika yɛde kɔtɔ cars ɛde ma aban panimfoɔ yɛade a yɛbɛ go down the leasing part instead of say yɛbɛnya outright purchase na afei yɛbɛ offload 30 billion every year ɛde akɔ private sector so that we can create more jobs for the youth.
Okay. That's it. Oh yeah.
Sometimes NPP communicators sometimes I don't know whether they think say young Ghana for no sebi ya na adwene bi na yetrimu ana say bibisa. And Dr. Bawumia most one the best vice president or the more than 40 policies na day aba. And yaman ko ye na ko kan dia was so need to me or your mate. Now obi or your best vice president o to me de 40 policies eba no. And yama isha ko kan ontimi nya ni sesiye. Adentina was or try me a kotoaba. This is the reason why I was a Ghana be Nibia who say a kuntum.
I'll give you the answer.
NMP for a day ADA. Dr. Baumia also economic messiah. Now kotoaba man be we Johnny for economic messiah and digitalization. Okotoma no be no antimi anya we Johnny say dear or say Abubo ya champion and as infrastructure. Such is the deception of the character we are dealing with. What say? Baby Ankofo ya say economy no edru no Wofa Kofi. What we need is a reset. And one thing our mampanyine Mahama say obeya me very enthused about. Local banks, any savings and loans, any microfinance 350 Dr. Bawumia as head of economic management team Uguno. Yes.
I don't know Uguno.
Local banks and microfinance. Emma Ghana for to lose direct and indirect jobs over 300,000. Dr. Bawumia as head of economic management team. We buy banks near struggle. You see, 9 billion the koshemua ebeye usuwunya. When you 25 billion, they solve problem and here some of the reason why I say Dr. Bawumia ye nim say your home economics no ko you said there nyamenkwa because problem yes so the 9 billion by be usuwenya when you 25 billion there go no are you a proper economist and now because reason amodema say mo bo depositors ka ho ban upon dem ye nyina no amanfo sika sa ye dey akam pension sika nyina masa ye dey afa tier 2 pensions ne bibia masa ye dey afa o mampanyini mahama say oba all local banks no or sad your license be mo savings and loans no microfinance ye obia license say ye dey ebe ma no ama nipa 200,000 300,000 a madwuma free mo nsa no mu nyina mo say benya adwuma. This is one of the reasons why I believe every Ghanaian must vote for His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Ebio Dr. Bawumia wo position or say yemfa tax in Mumai and no as head of economic management team no or the taxes mako 23 and aba COVID yare kodi ewo no a eba ya abakọ no omo se bibia ye COVID no and ne COVID omo da so je ho tax na se obi crack car e de buy COVID levy RAV4 COVID levy da so nko a ye 7,000 COVID levy nko a 7,000 o mampanyini Mahama se oba COVID levy na bibia COVID levy da so the ama niema boy den no dodo no aye COVID levy o mampanyini Mahama se oba obe COVID levy yi levy na nipa bebre mu amoye online businesses no ne ade yi levy a Dr. Bawumia di animu am ye di aba no o mampanyini Mahama se oba obe yi afri ho ebio bet ene obi adwuma ni ho obi mpese obekwa akobokro no akotwa bet bi adi ni saa ansa no adi baako ye di no a Dr. Bawumia wo ma no hwe odidi a wo so wo jetem ni trimu den so wo de ka je 1% mpai nipa no adi 1000 Ghana wo so wo je 100 Ghana o mampanyini Mahama se oba obeyi saa de ni nyina ye de afri ho ebio osi esanse emfidi nyuma ene agrek ne betimi abo o man nti no oba import duties ene ewo cars ene machines a ominwie you Wofa Kofi
5 minutes
import duties on cars any machines are yɛde bɛyɛ industry any agriculture no ni nyinaa yɛ dɛ ɛyɛ free ɔmanpanyin Mahama ebio ɔse wɔ ba Wofa Kofi enkwala eco school January eco university nursing training polytechnic technical university omu school fees first year no ɔmanpanyin Mahama so ayɛ dɛ wafa ho ka nyinaa ebio ɔde policy bi ba friend ɔwɔ policy bi ba yɛ friend Mahama care say obi a oyare diabetes oyare pressure wonya kidney wonya cancer wonya sika mfansa wo yare no ye bebo foto o mampanyini Mahama bebo foto di sika tumu a sika no be hwe wo yare free ebio ene nursing training medema no si nursing training any training college unim say omo admission time na so Wesco enom ni Monaco enom ni ade the work capacity say ko betimi afa nkwala 500 no ye say aban so betimi atua quota for nipa 100 into nipa 400 etina fie kwa omampanyini Mahama say oba obeba be yi sa quota system no ayedai every ho say be ya ebetimi afa nipa bebre na ya mede manu si oba Kofi wait 10 seconds one MPP as a political party yenti ameka say no krenye omanum no in one breath Dr. Bawumia so the flat rate in one breath most of port charges na dia muntimi nya ho hwe na Mahama aton port no obi a Mahama aton port muntimi nya ye ho hwe no e dey na afa dia mode utan kontopo
ma say cancel Anki Jack
yeah they tell say
final was say
port charges comes under Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority. So we have absolute control over how we want to set it. So get your facts right. All right? Number 2 is that Papa Kofo e build a banking sector. None in seso. None in seso eti se nentwi a wabu achacha. Say nentwi bedia no ogina ho a na nufu eso egu fom. Mu be free so no na nentwie no banking sector no ai wo fi moja. That is what you should tell Ghanaians. Adenti na mo fa free pokofo ho na ye sochi na mfie nwotwe mo running it down. Sa answer no na Ghana for airport Adodanko Akufo-Addo has made them better. To be very honest with you, all the banking reports that are coming, and I have plenty of them here, are proving the banking resilience are Abba Adodanko Akufo-Addo pencil. It is also not true. Say John Mahama with just a proclamation say Obia ye withdraw no, the license. Please. You withdraw the license. Yeah, you withdraw the license. Obaya was say Rabajo license. Adia ye farm rakwanso ene di say adwuma no. Adeti na mutu nkrofo futuro gu and what that policies no because no, we are interrogating possibilities. Please come to what's the covert tax? Covert tax is going to Agenda 111 project. Now, so if you believe say Agenda 111 ubetimi atwa so adia wo can say e over ambitious no. Now you are attacking or friend say covered levy. How are you going to execute that particular project? I am telling you say the lies. E-levy or friend is saying betting tax, if there is if then I have please not that you have given us I really want to tell you say Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia say the Ghana Affairs policy say we be use a buying sika a buying beti na obia wo ahihye dwuma wo man Ghana sese ye to neema ban eto neema dia sese ye to de first ye nya bi wo man Ghana mu na ye ko amanone akwakwakwotobie. This is the future of this country. This is a groundbreaking policy. This is a game changer for this country. E besa ko back credit score no na ma demand ashutu up so that our domestic production betimi
so Wofa Kofi, this is what I have to say. Ishak has spent the last 3 minutes trying to talk down on the American or say who believe we in Agenda 111. Mahama will be COVID levy. You be mouth 2 minutes. Mahama will be COVID levy when Tokotumano. But interestingly, the same Dr. Bawumia will be COVID levy. You see, the entire Mekatos MPP Nyano Cref for party no. Dr. Bawumia, and are you saying Dr. Bawumia does not believe in Agenda 111? As I'm saying, if you do so, some more moka, and the light, your light, a war Ghana ha, your light in Jinaswa. Nipe was here dana see your man penny Mahama because doom so enya Mahama ne de buy Doom so Mampenny go for address.
Please, Mr. Ishak, Mr. Ishak, covered living. Let me make my point. Provide the source. Mr. Ishak, tell us, manifesto.
Let me make my point. Doom so or Mampenny go for time. Mampenny go for time. Doom so by no. Or fast off was a monk of fire. Problem need not be ball Mampenny Mahama so. And now Mampenny Mahama to Doom so I say. And ne Oba Santa Regina. Doom so by a dear near Kofa by a Mary, why the buy or Mampenny Mahama. It in next year will life. Etina more nipper was here than I say. Mampenny Mahama. Dr. Baumia as a
say. I was for I had a brother crying me a day to a DNUSC council. Can you stop for Kabako? After Ozemi, dear Malkabako, Ben Pressa. Is that I'm so far as what I say? I was ever had a dignity in so SCA, Otiera, Ishak, Che Brobe, or a strategic communicator at the Marine New Patriotic Party, also a lecturer at Kumasi Technical University, and a lawyer, Abbas Nuruddin. Asante Regional Communication Director of the NDC. The punch. Kessben television so yakramo. What's it?